Hi, I'm Rianka, and thank you for listening to 2050 Trailblazers on YouTube. 2050 Trailblazers is a podcast to create a platform and space where we can talk about how to increase the level of diversity in the financial planning profession, share our experiences, and focus on how we can create a more inclusive future. You're about to listen to a snippet of my conversation with Katie Augsburger. All right, fourth point, and then we're going to go through another exercise, is what you mentioned, and I can hear just everyone screaming right now, career paths. And that is something that we lack.
Yes.
We lack. And let me tell you why, Katie. Just again, you're new to this world. So the financial planning world has been around maybe 30 years, but the true and 30 years ago, it didn't even look like what it looks like today. Yeah, I'm not gonna even go there, but let's just talk about what it looks like today. So I'll even take me, for example. I came into the financial planning world in 2009. And in 2010, I started with my first firm, and I was the first generation of paraplanner. So a paraplanner is basically someone who is the junior to the financial advisor. Sometimes they're called associate planners, etc. I was first generation, which meant that the firm that hired me and a couple other of my colleagues had no idea what to do with us. But we were figuring it out together. And what I appreciated about the firm is that they were very open with us about that. They're like, listen, we know we need support and help. We know that you have graduated from a school that has a CFP board registered program. We know you have the technical skills. We know we need to train you on other things. It was a very short job description, but basically what we did was help build it out. So talking about being the first, you had to understand that was the role, and I understood that was the role that I played. So basically I was blazing a trail for the next generation of paraplanners or associate planners after me. And so what was my capability? What was my colleague's capability? What does the next level look like, et cetera? And so for the young professionals out there, for the recent graduates who are going into these small RIA firms that do not have a career path, but they're very open and transparent with you about that, be open to helping them create the career path, because you are literally writing your own job description. You are literally writing your own career path. And it wasn't like it was 10 years ago where you had no examples to go after And so now there are many organizations that are very open with their job descriptions about what different work, what different paraplanners or associate planners or financial advisors, financial planners, lead, senior. Now we're adding all these like titles to us. So career paths are not there. Yeah. And so, and let me give you another example, Katie. So a large RIA can be considered like 15, 20 people. Like that's a large RIA. Now there are some really huge ones out there with like 100 folks, but they are few and far in between. Like true fee only RIA firms, it's few and far in between if you have like more than 20, 25. So even with that, from a health insurance standpoint, there's a level of coverage that these RIA firms do not legally have to give you if you have below 50 employees. So that's a challenge right there. However, if you want to retain your women, if you want to retain your employees, this is something that you have to stop thinking about. Well, legally, I don't have to do it. Well, if you want to keep me, you do.
Yeah. There's a legal threshold, and there's just like good governance threshold.
Right. So career paths is something that is very important to all employees. But again, we're looking through the lens of a woman right now. So especially for women. And so knowing what I just shared with you about the RIA space, not even, the big broker dealers and all that other stuff, they have career paths. But the RIA space, we struggling.
Yeah. And this is common amongst a lot of small companies too, because companies under 50 where they're like, well, how do I make a career path? Because there's only like 5 different type of jobs. Or they feel a little confused about how they can create some clarity. And that's what it is. It's just creating clarity for your employees, so that they understand what is my potential here? What can I do? What options and paths are open to me? Even if that's not a path towards management, um, it's a path towards knowledge building, to compensation building. Like I need to be clear about that. I need to understand that so that I know if this is an organization that's worth investing my time. And we don't often think about that as a part of our equity and inclusion program, right? We focus only on that pipeline. But these career paths for women is critical. I need to know if I'm investing my time in this organization, is this organization going to invest their resources in me? And that's if that's not communicated to me in the hiring process, that is a miss for the organization. That's the same thing with performance reviews. We uh, we kind of assume all performance reviews are the same and that they are, maybe good, maybe not so good, but that they're kind of the necessary evil in the organization. But those performance reviews were really based on how men share feedback with each other in a very factual, quick, um, metrics driven way, as opposed to how women share feedback with each other. And so when we design these, what are considered HR bureaucracy, like career paths, performance reviews, compensation, when we are centering men in the design, we are not being thoughtful about what the needs of all employees are and how critical those bureaucratic moments are in an employee's life. There's no more important thing than what I'm getting paid to do, what my paycheck is coming home, but we put so little thought into an equitable compensation plan.
Listen to our entire episode and other episodes on 2050trailblazers.com. Also, if you want to stay up to date on the latest episodes or catch up, we're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Soundcloud, and Spotify. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends because we're all a part of this conversation.